The first time I stood before an alien queen, I realized how small humanity must look to the galaxy. Queen Zalthera of the Keeler Dominion towered above the marble dais, her throne grown rather than built, woven from living crystal and bioluminescent vines that pulsed in slow, deliberate rhythms. Her species stood nearly 3 meters tall, their bodies encased in natural armor that shimmered like oil on water. Her eyes watched me from her elongated face, each one sharp with intelligence honed over millennia. I was one man, one human, and somehow I was the most important thing in the room. "Step forward," the queen commanded, her voice resonating through the chamber, not just as sound, but as vibration. I felt it in my bones. I obeyed, boots echoing across the vast hall. Around us, Keeler nobles watched in silence, their mandibles twitching with curiosity and restrained hostility. Humans were a novelty to them. Newcomers from a minor spiral arm, fragile, short-lived, and laughably outmatched. At least, that was the official narrative. "You are Captain Elias Mercer," Zalthera said, "commander of the human vessel Resolve, survivor of 3 Keeler border conflicts." "Yes, Your Majesty," I replied, keeping my posture neutral, submissive but not weak. That balance had kept me alive this long. Her eyes narrowed. "You should not have survived any of them." A ripple of quiet amusement passed through the court. "No," I agreed. "We shouldn't have." That answer seemed to please her. Humanity had only joined the galactic stage 30 years earlier. Our first contact had been disastrous, an accidental jump into contested space, followed by a brief but brutal engagement with Keeler patrols. We lost ships. We lost people. And we learned very quickly that the galaxy was not kind to the weak. So we adapted. We learned their tactics, their doctrines, their assumptions. And most importantly, we learned what they ignored. Queen Zalthera leaned forward slightly. "Tell me, Captain Mercer," she said, "why does your species continue to resist integration?" There it was. The real reason I'd been summoned. The Keeler Dominion was expanding. Slowly. Relentlessly. They absorbed systems not through conquest alone, but through offers. Protection. Stability. Technological advancement. All at the cost of sovereignty. Most species accepted. Humans had not. "We value self-determination," I said carefully. The queen emitted a sound that might have been laughter. "So do all species. Until they face extinction." Her gaze intensified. "I am prepared to make you an offer." The chamber seemed to hold its breath. "Join the Keeler Dominion as a client species," she continued. "Your worlds will be protected, your fleets upgraded, your people elevated beyond their biological limitations." My stomach tightened. "And in return?" I asked. "You will provide military service," she said smoothly. "Your kind has demonstrated creativity in warfare, adaptability, ruthlessness under pressure." There it was, the truth beneath the diplomacy. "You want us as soldiers," I said. "As partners," she corrected. "Under my rule." I didn't answer immediately. My mind raced through the implications. Protection from threats far worse than the Keeler. Access to technology centuries beyond ours. An end to humanity's constant struggle for survival. But I also knew history. Not galactic history. Human history. Empires never offered without expecting obedience. "And if we refuse?" I asked. Queen Zalthera's smile was slow and deliberate. "Then you will remain independent. Until you cannot." I felt the weight of that statement settle over me like gravity. "May I speak freely?" I asked. Her eyes flicked with interest. "You may." "You believe humans are dangerous," I said, "but controllable." "I believe," she replied, that all species can be guided. I met her gaze. That's where you're wrong. A murmur spread through the court. The guards shifted, weapons subtly angling toward me. Explain, the queen said, her tone still calm. We are not dangerous because of our strength, I said, or our technology, or even our adaptability. I paused. We are dangerous because we remember. Her expression hardened slightly. When the Keeler attacked our first colony, I continued, we didn't have shields capable of stopping your plasma weapons. So we dug in. We hid underground. We survived on recycled air and rationed water for months. I took a slow breath. When you destroyed our fleets, we didn't surrender. We studied your firing patterns. We learned your energy limits. We built ships designed not to outgun you, but to outlast you. The Queen said nothing. You see humans as a tool, I said. Something to be aimed. Her eyes glowed faintly. And you are saying that is a mistake. Yes, I said quietly, because tools don't ask questions. The chamber was silent now. No whispers. No movement. What would you have instead? Zalthera asked. I straightened fully. No more pretending to be small. An alliance, I said, between equals. No client status. No hidden chains. Her mandibles clicked softly. You ask much. So did you, I replied. For a long moment, I thought she would order my execution. It would have been logical, efficient. Instead, she leaned back in her throne. You intrigue me, human, she said, and that is rare. She gestured, and the guards relaxed slightly. Tell me, she continued, what happens if I reject your terms? I didn't hesitate. Then humanity continues alone, I said. We grow stronger. We learn faster. And eventually, we become something no empire wants as an enemy. Her eyes searched my face, probing for bluff. She found none. Your species is reckless, she said finally. Stubborn. Emotional. Yes, I agreed. But we're also loyal. And when we choose to stand with someone, we stand until the end. Silence stretched between us, heavy with possibility. At last, Queen Zalthera rose from her throne. The living crystal responded, glowing brighter as she stood. Very well, she said. I will amend my offer. The nobles gasped. The Keeler Dominion will recognize humanity as a sovereign ally, she declared. No forced integration. No client status. My heart pounded. In return, she continued, humans will serve as independent partners in matters of defense. I bowed, deeply this time. You won't regret this. She studied me with an expression I couldn't quite read. I already wonder, she said softly, if I should. Months later, as the Resolve prepared to depart Keeler space, I stood on the observation deck, watching alien and human ships forming joint patrol formations. The galaxy would change because of this alliance. Whether for better or worse remained to be seen. But one thing was certain. The alien queen had made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And for the first time in human history, we had accepted not out of fear, but out of choice. And the stars would remember that.